Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to another fantastic match from the Nexus Gaming Series. I'm going to be your host, The Sound, and I am excited to be bringing a semi-final series for our viewing pleasure. We're going to see Gillysharks at Bingo Night going up against Magnitude Tsunami, the 7th seed and 3rd seed respectively. This is going to be a best-of-5 series as part of a single elimination bracket. Important to note that this is the first meeting of these two teams this season. Their regular season series had to be forfeit due to, I assume, scheduling conflicts. So there is no scouting data firsthand that these teams have on one another. Magnitude Tsunami, newly formed for this season, but most of their roster have had previous NGS experience, as compared with the Gillysharks, who have been around for quite a while. And I think the core of the roster has been together since around Season 9. So, a lot of experience there. Let's take a look at the regular season, how it finished up to get to where we are now in the postseason. Magnitude finishing in 3rd place with 33 points, and Gillysharks finishing at 7th with 25 points. Which, of course, brings us to our postseason bracket. It's been hard fought. Gillysharks have punched above their weight class before, so they very well could do it again this evening. Let's head to our battleground selection just to see where we're going. Double check that I've got that all taken care of. Excellent. So we are headed to Volskaya for Game 1 as chosen by Magnitude Tsunami. Magnitude Tsunami, as the first, or the top seed, were able to select the map pick or first pick preference, and they opted for map pick. Of course, there were also bans out on a variety of maps. Magnitude Tsunami banning out Braxis Holdout and Infernal Shrines, with Gillysharks at Bingo Night opting for Towers of Doom and Alterac Pass. As our teams get settled into the lobbies and finish up all of their last-minute preparations, I just want to thank all of you for tuning in and cheering these two teams on. I know that they'll be excited to see everyone's encouragement when they watch back the VOD, and it's just great to have such a tight-knit community. Having everybody out to root these teams on is part of what makes NGS so special. So a special thank you to all of you. Sergeant Scoops says hi to me. Hello, Scoops. Glad to have you. Looks like we've got a lot of cheering for Magnitude here, but it looks like, given some people's speculation, we might see a double Azmodan coming out from the side of Gillysharks. Of course, Gillysharks at Bingo Night, as their name implies, have a very interesting approach to the metagame. As they have been together since around Season 9, they have taken to drafting compositions and picking objectives and whatnot based on a bingo generation bot. There's a custom algorithm that one of them designed, and it creates bingo cards with all sorts of different phenomenon that show up. I'm trying to see if I can find an example here. It's lots of fun. They've even come up with fun names, like you can have a square that's Rafflecopter, which is all of your heroes within your composition spin, so that can inform their draft. It is a real wild card to see what they'll be doing in any given game, and also it makes their drafting, as far as a role setup is concerned, very hard to keep track of. Lots of role swapping for the squad to help maximize their bingo potential. Looks like we are getting into our first draft for game number 1. Lazy Hydra, thank you for dropping the link into the chat for the bingo machine. Everybody go check it out. It's lots of fun. Highly recommend it. It's got all sorts of filters to make it easier or harder. It's dope. Let's get into draft number 1 here. With Magnitude opting for map pick, that gives Gilly the opportunity to kind of define the meta a little bit. We've got a ban on Chromie. Not something that cropped up in my scouting, but perhaps Chromie is going to harm their chances of getting a bingo comp. And of course, Magnitude Tsunami are kind of at the anybody's best guess as to what they'll be banning, opting for the Junkrat here. It is a tricky hero to deal with on this battleground. There's the Blaze ban from Gillyshark's Bingo Night. Blaze is a priority pick for Tsunami, as well as just a generally strong pick, so not surprised to see that ban from Gilly. Next ban here for Magnitude Tsunami. We could see a Hogger ban. It's going to be Johanna instead. Alright, so first pick to Gillysharks. We'll see what is in store for us. It will be Leoric first pick for Gillysharks. Leoric is actually one of the more highly contested picks between these two squads, both having a fair number of games on him thus far. Rhaegar, Vala the response. Vala, an excellent choice into the Bone King. Her ability to kite around Leo makes it very challenging for him to be effective, lore accurate, as it were. Greymane and Stukov are next to selection for Gilly. If I had to guess, the Leoric pick is a high priority pick for Gillyshark because of how flexible it can be. You can run Leoric as a main tank if need be. Diablo banned out. Diablo would have paired very well with the Stukov and Leoric, kind of a terrible wombo potential. And there's the Anub ban, a favorite of Magnitude Tsunami. They've received more bans on that than any other tank this season. Next two picks here, it's going to be Muradin Tassadar. Muradin, another well-contested pick between these two teams, so it might narrow the traditional tank choices for Gillysharks. We'll see how they close out the draft here. If they've got some extra spicy things up their sleeve to try and achieve a bingo, or if they'll be able to with a more traditional comp. Mephisto ETC, excellent. Not too many Mosh interrupts on the side of Magnitude Tsunami. They may look to pick another one up here with the off lane. On Volskaya, with Blaze banned, perhaps a Yrel pick. Hogger is available, but I do not believe Tsunami play much of it. They've opted for Sonya instead. Excellent. So let's take a look here as our teams load into the game and get through the swap phase. We've got Rhaegar, Vala, Tassadar backline against Greymane, Stukov, Mephisto. So no cleanse for Gillyshark. That could be tough into a leap from Sonya and Muradin follow-up. But there are plenty of offensive tools at their back. Leoric will be able to hunt for Rhaegar and Tassadar a bit with those entombs. Mephisto might be able to line up Durance of Hate based off of that, so it could be a very tricky game for both sides. We'll have to see how it plays out as we get into game number 1 here of our best of 5 series. And we can introduce our teams here on the left in blue. We've got Magnitude Tsunami, PP Wolo playing Rhaegar, Wafflecopter on Vala, Valkyrie on Sonya, Logic on Muradin, and Delta Sniper playing Tassadar. To the right in red, we've got Gillysharks at Big and Go Knight, Iron on Stukov, Stark on Greymane, EKB on Mephisto, Chess Looter on Leoric, and Schumann playing ETC. So give it up for your red team. As we get into wave 1 of the game, we can take a look at our talents. Wafflecopter has opted for Creed of the Hunter at level 1, looking to get those auto attack stacks in. They get additional damage based on their hatred for every 50 stacks. Of course, it comes at the potential risk of losing attack speed thanks to the Gambit component of the talent. Schumann over the top here onto Wafflecopter. A quick silence follow-up, and that is first blood going over Gillyshark's Mingo Knight. An absolute dominant showing from the seasoned squad. That is the sort of synergy you would expect to see after so many seasons together. Low blow from Stukov, coming in clutch here, picking up the second kill already. So it is a lightning fast start for Gillysharks. In the bot, Valkyrie's been having a tough time against Chess Looter here. Sonya not faring so well against Leoric in that matchup. Gillyshark also ahead on the first camp rotation. They've secured their fortification camp almost before Magnitude Tsunami started theirs. And it looks like they have opted to go for their siege camp in the back rather than contest the field camp. So that's going to give Magnitude Tsunami a little bit of time to catch up, but of course they are lagging behind in experience. We can see that is due largely to the hero kill deficit. And that brings level 4 to Gillyshark well ahead of Magnitude Tsunami. We'll see if they're able to keep that lead up throughout the game. EKB found by Logic there. A great double stun onto Wafflecopter, falling very low. Chess Looter makes the rotation, and that's the second kill onto Wafflecopter. 2 deaths for the Creed of the Hunter Vala. Definitely a tough start for Magnitude Tsunami. At level 4, we've got nothing too out of the ordinary. Iron opting for 1 good spread rather than the more traditional biotic armor. And Schumann locked in the Crowd Surfer. We're able to get onto Logic through the wall there thanks to that talent. On the other side, nothing too out of the ordinary there. Death Dealer for Vala, a pretty big power spike as far as her damage output is concerned. And Sonya has opted for a more traditional slam build, which we see pretty typically given the latest changes. Speaking of Sonya, there's the rotation from all 4 of Gillysharks, and another kill, 4 unanswered for the side of Gillysharks, and now a full level lead at before the 3-minute mark in game 1. An absolute dominant showing just as the first objective unlocks. Logic does not find EKB with that jump in. Level 7 talents now online for Gillysharks. Still about a full level away for Magnitude Tsunami. Of course, they were able to get the biotic emitter out of Gillyshark, so that is not going to be an advantage that they have in any further objective tussles. And they've also got to deal with this top objective, or minion camp, I should say, mercenaries. Delta Sniper dead again. EKB and Stark following up on all of Iron's engages with Weighted Pustule and Lurking Arm. Level 7's just around the bend for Magnitude Tsunami. They will have the opportunity to get an even talent tier fight over Objective 1 if they so choose. Seems like with 3 committed to the top lane, they're instead going to forego this first objective, perhaps giving Wafflecopter a few more chances to get some stacks on the level 1 Gambit. Just before the camp despawns, Gillysharks take over and are able to start the invade. Logic over the top here gets caught by Iron. Valkyrie finds them with the spear, but it looks like Gillysharks are going to be able to squeeze out without too much trouble. All the while, Gillysharks have been working on the front wall of mid-fort. The fort itself down about 20% of its HP before the transition is made up to top lane. And these two towers here in top might be what Gillyshark needs to secure the heroic talent tier, and there it is. Level 10s in their hands. It's going to be massive shove, mosh pit, and tomb, and okay, Durance of Hate, traditional, excellent, and go for the throat. So let's see what Gillysharks are going to do with this heroic talent tier advantage. Looks like they're content to pick up the biotic emitter again, and perhaps they'll look to siege up past that. Chest looter met by 4 of magnitude Tsunami, but they're able to squeak out without too much trouble. And it looks like we've got Gillysharks in the driver's seat and headed for this top lane fort. They're going to commit their fortification camp turret very early on. Logic jumping in here. Schumann over the wall. Durance goes wide from EKB, so that heroic won't be up for the next bit. However, it will likely be up again before the even talent tier fight that Magnitude Tsunami hope to take. So a great use of that heroic talent tier advantage, making sure that you're getting value out of that cooldown. Talent tier parity has been found by Magnitude Tsunami. We've got Ancestral Healing, Rain of Vengeance, Leap, Avatar, and Black Hole. So a few more Mosh interrupts here at the heroic talent tier. Schumann is going to have to be pretty diligent about cooldown counting to make sure that they can get some value out of that. An assist ping going on to Logic there. I suspect that was from Schumann, letting the rest of Gillysharks know that the Muradin is in range. With Greymane down here on the fortification camp, Tsunami are going to get a fair bit of siege out of that mercenary push in top lane. Taking a look at our experience once again, not only do Gillysharks lead in terms of hero kill experience, they're also well ahead on mercenary experience thanks to all of those biotic emitter grabs. And it's putting them just around the corner to the 13 talent tier. 1.5 level lead still for Gillysharks. If anything, their experience lead has continued to grow. Wafflecopter almost to their first stack of Creed of the Hunter. Gonna unlock that bonus damage from Hatred with 2 more auto attacks. There's the Mosh from Schumann. An immediate follow-up with every single heroic. Gillyshark's Bingo Knight taking out 2. It will cost Schumann their life. And Logic is going to pop the Avatar. It looks like they will make it out alive. But those 2 kills will open up the opportunity for Gillyshark to finish off that top fort there. They are still in a commanding lead and able to start channel on Objective B before those respawns come in from either side. An excellent out-of-vision engagement from Schumann there, really taking advantage of that level 4 Crowd Surfer. Logic looking for a kill here, gets the stun onto EKB, but there is no DPS in range to follow up. So that's the second fort to fall on the side of Gillysharks. Leaps in from Valkyrie, will secure the kill onto Iron. Stukov going down. And that may be the opportunity that Magnitude Tsunami needs to get back in the game. About 50% on Objective 1 for Gillysharks, but with an even talent tier, I'd expect to see Magnitude Tsunami really try and take it to Gillyshark here. Delta Sniper unable to catch EKB on the favorable side of the force wall there. Logic will be stunned, so Schumann makes it out to safety. Gillyshark have racked up most of the channel time needed for this second objective phase as well. And with level 16 talents about a level away, we may see Gillyshark just forego this objective and pay more attention to all of the different sources of experience they can find on the map. Minion waves in bot, both of these mercenary camps in top and bot respectively. That plus a few more waves mid and top should get them to another even talent tier, likely ahead of the overtime mark for Tsunami. And there it is, level 16s in their hands. The experience gap is narrowing. Magnitude Tsunami are catching up here, but they're not going to be able to find an even talent tier fight over this next objective. Gillysharks once again only putting a single hero in the Protector, choosing instead to keep all of their cooldowns available to them. With Mephisto in, it's not... Oh my gosh, I didn't know that you could power slide for such a long distance. Anyway, Mephisto doesn't do a whole heck of a lot of building damage, so not surprising to see them locked in the Protector there. Magnitude Tsunami could still look to fight past here. Wafflecopter definitely relishing the opportunity to get some free stacks on the Protector, all the way up to 77 now. But with Schumann out of vision, they're playing it very cautious. Magnitude Tsunami do not want to get caught in another huge mosh. There's the slide onto 2, immediate interrupt, but Chess Looter is there to catch them in the Entomb. Valkyrie falling very low, still in the Silence Puddle, and Sonya will go down. The Biotic Emitter, in the end, not enough to save the Barbarian. So, all outer structures taken out on the side of Magnitude Tsunami. Wafflecopter has found the second stack on Created a Hunter, so their damage continues to ramp up. They're also scaling very well into the late game. Vala at level 16 will unlock Manticore, making it all the more difficult for Schumann to stand and deliver on the ETC. And there it is, level 16 Manticore gives a large damage spike to Wafflecopter. It's also going to unlock percent damage for Valkyrie on the Sonya and Tassadar with Thermal Lance. So Delta Sniper, Valkyrie, and Wafflecopter all doing a heck of a lot of damage here. All cooldowns back and available for Gillyshark. There's the silence. They're going to catch Wafflecopter. Another death onto the Vala. Huge resets. 3 for 1. And looks like they're going to chase down the Rhaegar. PP Wolo is probably not going to make it out alive here. Chess Looter does have a slow, and Rhaegar has managed to mount up, but there's no chance that this puppy dog is going to make it to home. Yeah, Stark is going to finish off the chase. In the meantime, Gillyshark have made their way towards top keep wall. 12-3 on the kill count now. A very strong showing for the lower seed team in the first game. Of course, this being a best of 5 means Magnitude Tsunami are far from out of the series. And Volskaya also notoriously goes late. Magnitude Tsunami's comp will continue to stack up their scaling power. Wafflecopter, though having lost a fair number of stacks, or Gambit stacks? Are they stacks? Are they charges? Who's to say? They are continuing to rack up those auto attack stacks, which ramps up their damage. Valkyrie able to make it out alive thanks to the Mystical Spear level 13 talent, pulling through the wall of the Entomb there. Storm talents online. It's push comes to shove for Stukov. Hunter Splendorbuss for Greymane. Mimic for EKB. Unyielding Despair, or Burning Despair for Chess Looter. Not opting for Silence Entomb. And it looks like it's Torbus for Schumann, so look for Another set of tricky plays. Definitely doing as much as they can to mind game and get value out of these mosh pits. And they've been doing a fantastic job so far. Magnitude Tsunami recognizing that they're not going to lose the game if they lose bottom keep, play it very cautiously. And we can see Wafflecopter splitting up to top lane with Valkyrie in bot. Magnitude Tsunami doing what they have to get as much safe experience towards their Storm talents as they can. Meanwhile, Gillysharks will begin their progress on Objective C and stay active on the map, getting that fortification camp taken care of. Schumann looking for the Mosh max distance slide. So Mosh will be on cooldown. There may be another Mosh before level 20 happens. Schumann will have more opportunities thanks to their level 13 Encore talent, giving them cooldown reduction on their heroic. About 3/4 of a level separate Tsunami from their heroic, or their Storm talent tier. They're not going to get it before this third Protector phase gets started. A bit of a change for Gillysharks. We've got... there it is. Yeah. Once again, leaving all but the Mephisto out of the Protector, believing that 3v5 is not terribly favorable, and 4v5 is a little bit better. Stark already using their Inner Beast, Chest Looter, able to reduce lots of damage here thanks to their 13-16 combo. They got shoved under mid-keep, but it doesn't matter. The Protector is wailing away on this core. A kill onto Wafflecopter again means that the highest DPS source for Magnitude Tsunami is no longer available, and that's going to do it for Game 1. Another celebratory mosh pit, but in the end, it's a win for Gillysharks at Bidno Night. GG and well played. So a explosive first game there on Volskaya Foundry. Gillyshark able to do a great job identifying the all-important factor of reducing the stacking capabilities of Wafflecopter on the Vala. Taking a look at our post-game stats here. We can see, yeah, 5 deaths for Wafflecopter that game. That is a tough stat line for an auto attack. But to be fair, it was a tough set of engagements. Schumann was doing an excellent job getting through the wall, so PP Willow rarely had the opportunity to get the Ancestral in time. Some really tricky plays coming out from Gillyshark there. Taking a look at our builds here. Oh, shoot. Let's get over to our map draft. Excellent. So a phenomenal first showing for Game 1 in the series. This series absolutely could go the distance here. The higher seed is not the foregone conclusion. No reason to expect a sweep in either direction. Looks like we are going to be headed to Braxis Holdout. No, I'm sorry. Cursed Hollow for Game 2 as selected by Magnitude Tsunami. I believe in the regular season, this is one of the higher win rate maps for Gillyshark. So it's interesting to see that map selection from Magnitude Tsunami. I imagine that Gillyshark are happy to see it there. For everyone who tuned in midway through Game 1, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're happy to have you. We've got the 3rd seed Magnitude Tsunami taking on 7th seed Gillysharks at Bingo Night. This semifinal for Division A is a best of 5, so we could be going pretty late here. I hope you all stick around with us and continue to let us know your favorite plays. Feel free to clip them, post them in chat. I don't actually know if you can post links in chat because this is not my channel. And a huge shout out to the casting leadership for getting all of these post-season casts set up, getting all of our disparate volunteer caster staff access to these main channels. Just another example of NGS being a fantastic organization to be a part of. If you want to be a part of it too, check us out at nexusgamingseries.org, the largest North American amateur HOTS league. We're always happy to have more players, so the more the merrier. Please join. Looks like we've got a couple of readies, but some folks are still filing into the lobby here as we get around to it. This is the second of the 2 semifinal matches of this division. The first going in favor of Easy K, Easy Blue, and the Soakers is the name of that team. And that series went the full distance. So if this series also goes to a full 5 games, I think that probably spells fireworks for the grand finals of Division A. All right, we've got our draft up for the next lobby, so let's get into it. We'll see if Gillysharks stick with their plan. It is going to be another Chromie ban. Junkrat ban as well. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it, as far as both teams are concerned. The Blaze ban once again. We'll see if Magnitude Tsunami, they're going to stick with the Joe ban as well. Okay. So all the same up through the first phase of the draft. We'll see if the first pick is in fact another high priority offlaner. It is going to be the Dahaka. So they're locking in their global early on the side of Gillyshark. Greymane Anduin, the response for Magnitude. Magnitude Tsunami may not get the opportunity to match globals here now that Gillyshark have Greymane and Falstad available to pick and ban in these next few stages. That could be a pretty big advantage for them draft-wise. And there's that Brightwing pick and Muradin. So a double global comp with a highly contested tank pick. Tsunami not wanting to see a third global will ban the Falstad out. And ETC, it can be a global, worth mentioning, with the Anubarak ban. That is an option for Tsunami if they so chose. Not the most common thing to see in the offlane at this point in the metagame, but it is a potential response to Dahaka here. Both frontliners are still missing. Looks like we've got a Diablo pick up here, followed by the Leoric. Excellent. So trading the Muradin and Leoric this time in the draft. Gillysharks gonna finish off the draft. They have at least one damage, perhaps two, that could be chosen. I'm thinking of single target damage for boss burn. I don't know if they've got many opportunities for point control. Gonna opt for the Tychus and Sylvanas so they can deal with the heavy front line that Tsunami have brought forth here. Last pick for Delta Sniper. We may see another Tassadar pick. It looked pretty strong in game one. It's going to be Kale Thas. Excellent. So let's take a look for game two as we are headed into it. Greymane Kale Thas. Alright, they've got some pretty solid frontline damage on Greymane and Kale Thas, so they can put a lot of threat onto Muradin and Dahaka. Of course, Brightwing and Tychus both, I think, is going to be tough for Diablo to deal with. Magnitude Tsunami are going to have to be really cautious about the engagements that they pick and their targets that they choose. I'll be interested to see if Sylvanas opts for Wailing Arrow or a more single target focused mind control. So we'll see how they change it up here in game two. Let's introduce our teams once again. On the left, we've got Magnitude Tsunami, PP Wolo on Anduin, Wafflecopter on Greymane, Valkyrie playing Leoric, Logic on Diablo, and Delta Sniper playing Kale Thas. And to the right in red, we've got Gillysharks and Bingo Knight, Stark on Sylvanas, Iron playing Brightwing, Schumann on Muradin, Chesslooter on Dahaka, and Ikibi playing Tychus. As we get into the first wave of the game, we can take a look at our level 1 talents. We do have a couple of quests here, Enhanced Agility for Chesslooter and Mana Addict for Delta Sniper. A quick flip and stun. Chesslooter will respond with the drag, but not enough damage follow-up. Ikibi was focused primarily on the wave there. First objective has been shown in top lane. Delta Sniper and Stark both starting the game down here in bot lane. That was a nice little last hit with the Living Bomb there. Well played from Delta. One minute on the clock sparks all the camps, and both of our teams are directly onto them. PP Wolo and Wafflecopter starting up his Bruiser camp, while Gillyshark at Bingo Knight have Stark working on the Siege camp. I'll be interested to see if Magnitude Tsunami opt to push with this camp or instead send Wafflecopter directly to the Siege camp. Looks like they are going to try and get as much Siege value out of this first camp as they can. Delta Sniper harassed by Schumann here in bot lane a bit. Of course, with Muradin down in bot lane, it gives Wafflecopter a lot of space. A great flip and shove from Logic will put a lot of threat onto Ikibi. Looks like the phase shift not quite available from Iron. A leap in from Schumann, Delta Sniper able to make it out alive. So the gate and a tower taken down in the mid lane. A great first showing for Magnitude Tsunami in the early minutes of first Hollow. The objective will be announced here in the next couple seconds. We'll see if Magnitude Tsunami are going to have the opportunity to get that top siege camp out, or if they're going to choose to hold it for the next objective phase. This, of course, is where having your global heroes is a pretty big advantage for Gillyshark. They're going to be able to have Iron in bot lane and Chest Looter in mid, get a little bit more experience while Magnitude Tsunami commit all 5 heroes to top. Logic looking for EQB. EQB able to make it out alive. Delta Sniper taking a lot of damage here. Schumann has to jump out, and Stark has fallen very low. So a pretty harsh trades back and forth. Both globals committed from Gillyshark, so it is a full 5v5 now. Level 7's about as far away for both teams. Experience neck and neck here. Quarterback at level 1 from EQB is going to give them a lot of opportunities to get some safe stalls with their grenade. Iron eating the root from Anduin there. PP Wolo will step up here. A great stun and follow-up damage onto Logic. Diablo is very low. Valkyrie falling low as well. The HP trade's definitely favoring Gillyshark at this point. That's thanks to the level 4 from EQB. The bigger they are, really amping up the minigun damage as long as the target is above 30% HP. Iron now stalled out once again. We'll see if that drag is going to seal it up for Logic, and it will. First blood going over to Gillyshark once again. Level 7's online for both teams. And we do have another quest talent on the board, Wizened Duelist for Wafflecopter, looking to once again amp up their auto attack damage as much as they can. Level 7, also a pretty big power spike for Iron. Critical Mist, able to heal ally heroes, as well as cooldown reduction on Magic Spit. So they're able to get a lot more effective healing out of their kit. Chest Looter looking for Delta Sniper there, but isn't going to find it. In the meantime, Logic and PP Wolo have started up this boss, Wafflecopter, a little bit late to the rotation, and the tribute has been announced closest to Gillysharks are looking for the stun onto Chest Looter, who gets the drag onto Logic once again. EQB in range to do some damage. Chest Looter is going to receive the phase shift, and it looks like Logic in again to get the stall. Diablo will pay with their life. Another kill onto Wafflecopter, and a third onto Valkyrie. So 4 unanswered kills, almost the heroic talent tier secured for Gillysharks, and 2 of the 3 tributes needed for Curse. It's a massive push here in bot lane now with the boss and the siege camp that they were able to grab before that objective phase. With Stark's black arrows, they're going to get a lot of push done. Schumann trying to do as much as they can to ward off Magnitude Tsunami. Sylvanas has opted for Wailing Arrow at level 10, so probably going to look to shut down PP Wolo at range. It's going to be a much harder game for the Anduin player now that that silence is online for Gillysharks. And an excellent timing on this third tribute for the side of Gillyshark. Level 10 might be online here. It's not going to look like it. So Magnitude Tsunami still looking for their heroics as Gillyshark pick up a second boss and a second curse. Would have loved to see them stall that capture just a little bit longer so that the boss was already in lane by the time the curse took effect. Schumann and friends will support their boss here, sending Chest Looter off to soak. They do have their global available to them, so they may look for a rotation in to make this a full 5v5. Bot lane has already got a catapult wailing away on the keep wall. Schumann doing a great job to zone Magnitude Tsunami far away. perhaps they got a little too far ahead of themselves, but a great shift from Iron will get Schumann out alive. A very timely cleanse, and that's where that critical mist level 7 comes in handy. Able to get burst healing onto Schumann in a timely fashion. Avatar committed nonetheless. Curse winding down here, but Gillyshark are not done. They're looking for as much siege as they can get out of the Black Arrows boss and Odin from Ikibi. Boss down below a third HP. I'd be interested to see if Magnitude Tsunami look to fight past. A great drag onto Valkyrie from Chest Looter. Logic receives the light bomb. Stark falling very low, and there's a first kill for Magnitude Tsunami. Looking for Logic Iron here. Iron scoots past the Entomb and is able to blink out, but Chest Looter will pay for the Brightwing's sins here. Looks like they're going to do as much as they can to get the last bit of experience before they head back to the Hall of Storms there. A great engagement from PP Wolo and Logic. The Shadow Charge with the Light Bomb attached, catching Gillysharks out of place. That's going to do a lot to close the gap towards level 13 talents. They are now neck and neck on Hero Kill XP, lagging behind just in Mercenary XP at this point. And there are the level 13 talents. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, Enchanted Boots for PP Wolo. A siege camp picked up. Next objective will be in mid lane. Would love to see Tsunami get down to mid lane and start taking care of this bruiser camp. A double wave and a Sylvanas is not something you want to leave unattended. That fort could take an awful lot of punishment. Logic bearing the brunt of Gillyshark's punishment. Looks like it is a full Flame Stomp build for Logic there on Diablo. And Magnitude Tsunami have timed out this bruiser camp well for the next objective phase. Of course, this is once again where the double global comp of Gillysharks really shines. They're going to be able to have Iron here in top lane taking care of the siege camp, as well as Chest Looter taking care of the mid. And it looks like Ikibi and Schumann are going to be uncontested. Tsunami trying to find a gank opportunity onto Iron. Brightwing playing it very safe, able to get back behind the wall before the gank threat was realized. That's an 11-minute quest completion for Delta Sniper. Mana Addict now granting them a shield, which increases their survivability. Top fort traded for bot keep. Magnitude Tsunami once again behind on the talent tier, and they're going to have to give another boss. Looks like Gillysharks are unfettered here, dominating this battleground. Not too surprising to see their strong performance on it. They have shown a great deal of prowess on it in the regular season, and so they are just continuing. Okay, Stark had to burn. Okay, huge. Oh my god, Stark exploded. Shouldn't have used Will of the Forsaken for the boss. Chest Looter looking for the kill onto PP Wolo, but it looks like the team will protect the Anduin. Wafflecopter able to get the reveal here. Valkyrie chasing after with the extended Wraith Walk distance. Chest Looter will go down. The boss still claimed by Gillysharks, and they are at 2 out of 3 tributes for the next curse. Magnitude Tsunami are stabilizing with these late game kills, however. They've found the even talent tier. Leoric really starting to reach those later game scaling opportunities. The builds are Fury of the Sunwell for Delta Sniper is going to increase the threat that they can apply to Schumann. And they're able to scout this boss here Procking it before it leashes all the way. Schumann will get the leap out. Logic almost catching the Muradin there. Schumann is going to get the opportunity to heal up thanks to their second wind trait, but I don't imagine it. They are committing. Great play from Logic, playing the objective point well. Chess Looter finds PP Wolo in the back, but it's all going red in the kill feed. Magnitude Tsunami pick up... I'm sorry. Opposite. Gillyshark able to pick up another 3. Delta Sniper falling low here. They sacrifice the boss, instead capping 3 death timers. So the objective going over to Magnitude Tsunami, or Gillyshark, after the boss was captured by Magnitude Tsunami. No damage up and available for Tsunami means they're going to have a hard time defending this push. Stark and EKB both unfettered here. We're going to see Logic try and do as much damage as they can with the Lightning Breath, but that's not going to be enough. So game 2 going over to Gillyshark at Bingo Night. GG, well played. So a early lead here in the series for Gillyshark at Bingo Night after 2 map selections from Magnitude Tsunami. Gillyshark have shown their prowess on both battlegrounds, looking very strong in Game 1 on Volskaya, and once again here on Cursed Hollow in Game 2. Taking a look at our post-game stats, we can see Delta Sniper actually top of the lobby with 36,000 hero damage, but I think it's the effective damage that was really all it came down to. We can see that story told in the takedown count, 8-4, favoring Gillyshark at Bingo Night. Taking a look at our talent builds, see if we've got anything out of the ordinary. Nothing too strange here. A full W build from Logic on the Diablo, and Valkyrie opting for Ominous Wraith and Royal Focus at 16. So an excellent objective play from Gillysharks. They were able to get the first couple of leads there early on, get that first curse, and really kind of snowball the battleground and Game 2 in general in their favor from that point. Okie doke. Heading back to our battleground selection. Magnitude Tsunami are going to have to dig deep here to, if they want to start the reverse sweep. They are the higher seed team, so one would suppose they are favored in this matchup. Checking in on their regular season record, it looks like two of their domination wins were as a result of forfeits that they benefited from. So perhaps that doesn't tell the true story of the team's overall strength. It's hard to speculate the true power rankings between these teams, given that this is Tsunami's first season together. And they have done a fair bit of winning in their games that were not forfeited, winning 8 of their regular season games in addition to those 2 forfeits that they benefited from. So they definitely have the wherewithal to get these wins here. It's far from a foregone conclusion to see Gillyshark take it in a quick 3-0. It's anyone's guess how it will proceed. I'm also really curious to know how Gillyshark are doing on their bingo card. I got to play in a division with Gillyshark not last season, 2 seasons ago. And also had the opportunity to scrim them a couple times. And I will say one of the best parts about playing against Gillyshark, win or lose, is getting to see how these bingo cards get completed. You'll end up seeing sometimes rather peculiar drafts and compositions coming out from them, and it's always fun to try and speculate how those might be filling in squares on the bingo card. So if we're lucky, one of our friends from Gillyshark will be able to post the final results of the bingo card, perhaps here in chat, and if not, over in the NGS Discord. So definitely check it out if it's available. I'm also interested / curious about Tsunami's approach towards first pick or map pick. They've opted for map pick in these first 2 games, but I don't know if the battleground selection has been as a meaningful a factor. Of course, first pick is a tricky one to prioritize into Gillyshark because, once again, as has been mentioned, they are true wildcards in draft. I think a majority of the heroes that they've played this season, and it's an absurd number. I think it was like 43 heroes played out of the full cast of 89, I think we have. So almost 50% of the roster featured in at least one game for Gillyshark this season. And what's more, I believe of those 43 some odd heroes played, more than half of those were played for 2 games or fewer. So Tsunami very well could opt for first pick if they feel like it's going to be a difference maker for them. But it's not as if you can realistically predict what the priority pick from Gillyshark will be. All right. Looks like we do have another lobby up. Okay, and we do have a change up here. Tsunami have opted for first pick this time round. So perhaps hoping the change is all they need. That might be their secret sauce. Let me just finish a couple things here. Excellent. And we should be ready as these teams load into the draft for game number 3. This is a pivotal game, to say the least. Magnitude Tsunami are fighting for their post-series lives here, looking to start the reverse sweep. We'll see if the first pick selection, rather than the battleground selection, will be the secret sauce that they need to clinch their first victory. I'm also curious to see if this changes the ban priorities at all, or if it's going to be a rinse and repeat on these first 4 bans or the third game here. Johanna once again from Tsunami. Very powerful on the battleground, and perhaps not a favored hero from Logic. Gillyshark has used this slot for the Chromie in our previous 2 games. Looks like it's going to be the Blaze instead. So still 2 heroes from the same ban phase Rhaegar. So Tsunami are the first to blink and change it up with a Rhaegar ban. And Junkrat, okay. So Junkrat still banned, but this time on the side of Gillyshark. We've seen Vala and Greymane both picked very early in the draft by Magnitude Tsunami. And Greymane has been banned against them a great deal throughout the season. Looks like it's going to be the Chromie pick up instead. First game that it's available to them, Magnitude Tsunami will lock in the Sandmage. Aspect of Time, I think? She's a gnome? I know things about lore. I'm sure you all do too. Sylvanas and Leoric. So once again, the Leoric priority remains high in this series, and there's the Greymane and Anubarak. So Greymane and Anub both received lots of bans against the Magnitude Tsunami throughout the regular season, and we saw those first two games getting Chromie bans. So Magnitude Tsunami have a lot of tools that they have been denied in their tool belt now. We're going to see the Anduin ban this time from Gillyshark. So the first pick and these heroes altogether could be the difference maker. There's the Murden ban. All right, next two picks here for Gilly. They need a healer. They'll lock in the Stukov, and there's the Schumann ETC once again. This combo was an absolute nightmare for Tsunami in Game 1. And there are plenty of great areas of terrain to get a lot of crowd surfer value, so I'll be excited to see Schumann go for that again, potentially. Last two picks here for Tsunami. They need a healer. It's going to be Brightwing. Ah, and Hager selected for Valkyrie. Okay. Final pick now. Probably another damage for Stark. Well, they also use the swap around a lot, so it won't necessarily be for Stark. I'd love to see some burst damage and a little more wave clear. Although with Sylvanas' level 4, it might not be so bad. Kerrigan, okay. So it is another damage, but not ranged. So a exciting spicy pick for this potential final game of the series. All right, Sylvanas Kerrigan. I think Anubarak Hager aren't the worst frontline combo to deal with a Sylvanas Kerrigan. The engage range of Anubarak is pretty large. Chromie offers time trap vision, which will be very helpful. And the spell armor from Anub will mitigate the worst of the damage from Kerrigan. We'll see if Game 3 ends up being the deciding changing factor for Tsunami. We can introduce them again, potentially for the last time, here on the left in blue. We've got PP Wolo on Brightwing, Wafflecopter on Greymane, Valkyrie on Hager, Logic playing Anubarak, and Delta Sniper playing Chromie. To the right in red, looking to close it out, 3-0, Gillyshark at Bingo Night. Iron on Sylvanas, Stark on Kerrigan, EKB on Leoric, Chymotrypsin on Stukov, and Schumann playing ETC. As we get into the first wave of the game, we can see our level 1 talents. Delta Sniper has opted for Time Walker's Pursuit at level 1, gaining 10 spell power, and also the ability to reveal areas of the map every 25 seconds. It's going to help mitigate the threat that Stark is able to apply with Kerrigan. First wave clear advantage goes over to Tsunami. Stark gets the combo onto Wafflecaptor, and Logic is falling very low. Schumann falls low as well, so a lot of damage traded onto both frontliners there for game one. Time Trap catches Irons, and first blood will go to Magnitude Tsunami. First blood for the first time going over to the home team. It's a great confidence boost to see those takedowns go your way. Looks like we've got Gillyshark thinking about getting started here on the bot camp. Chymotrypsin in range, but with Wafflecopter and Valkyrie sieged up on this wall, I don't know if EKB is going to be able to withstand this siege. Magnitude Tsunami have not sniffed out this neutral camp grab. We can see they're instead prioritizing the Bruiser camp here on the left side. So first siege camp going over to Gillyshark. Valkyrie is going to have to deal with that. Schumann rotating down to put a little bit of pressure onto the Hogger there. Tsunami have gotten the early turn-ins here. Already 14 gems banked for them. So they have taken advantage of the power play that they were given on the map while Gillyshark were busy on the bot camp. And with a Bruiser camp and wave, Greymane is going to get a lot of damage done. Logic eating all of the damage from Chymo and Stark. They will go down nonetheless. Level 7's still a bit away, but Stark already getting the level 4 sharpened blades stacked for Kerrigan. Level 5 will unlock the third talent tier for Delta Sniper thanks to Chromie's trait, getting all of their talent tiers 2 levels early. So we'll see what they opt for there. And it looks like Valkyrie has been doing a great job getting micro turn-ins, while EKB has been less successful on that front. Leoric not necessarily going to get full trait value when they're holding a lot of gems available, and Magnitude Tsunami know it. They rotate down and try and get the gank on the offlaner who is holding so many gems. Gillyshark have collected enough for a full turn-in. Stark caught out here. They're going to get a combo onto 2, and Schumann will follow up with the power slide, but Stark will head back to the Hall of Storms for a respawn nonetheless. 2-1 in the kill feed. About even there on hero experience. The mercenary experience just ahead for Gillyshark thanks to that neutral camp grab. They've also been a little more diligent in picking up the gems, which is how they've managed the early turn-in, and they're going to secure the first objective phase of the game as level 7s unlock for both sides. Gilly doing a fantastic job to get all 3 of their lanes pushed up before the objective phase starts. It's going to limit the vision that Tsunami have for predicting where Gilly are going to push. It's also going to get their objectives spawned up as close to the towers as possible, which is extraordinarily helpful because the Webweavers progressively lose health just by standing around. So if they spend that time walking, it is a bummer. Slight experience lead now for Gillysharks. They're going to continue to widen that lead with the experience from the structures. Logic caught in the silence puddle, but they'll live thanks to the phase shift from PP Wolo. PP Wolo also opting for critical mist at level 7, so their CC elimination will also trigger a heal. Gillyshark do not have enough for back-to-back turn-ins. Magnitude Tsunami have banked enough and will get the turn-in on the bot side. Looks like they're going to heavily prioritize this mid lane, which has given Stark the opportunity to get top lane pushed all the way back to their fort. So a little bit of a sloppy rotation from Tsunami is going to give Gillyshark the opportunity to even out their waves. Schumann looking for the power slide through terrain. It is almost free for them to do so with the cooldown reduction from their level 4. Not only are you able to cross terrain, but it gives you a lot of CDR if you don't touch anyone. Double combo onto 2. It's Waffle Copter to go down, losing some stacks on their level 7. Logic falling low as well. A snap engage with the Ultralisk as the heroic talent tier unlocks for Gillyshark. We've also got Flailing Swipes, another Mosh Pit, Entomb, and Wailing Arrow once again. So a lot of damage going onto the mid fort there. Schumann looking for PP Wolo, but they're able to blink out to safety. Delta Sniper, completely out of mana, is probably going to have to head back to the Hall of Storms. We've got Waffle Copter on Logic working on the left-hand cruiser camp, while Iron and Chymotripsin do the same. So it will be even lane pressure there, but it looks like it's another turn-in threat. 17 plus 47 isn't going to do it. Or it will, but Stark wasn't going to get the turn in. Math isn't my strong suit. 2 caught by the shockwave from Valkyrie, but basically a max distance fish. Isn't going to catch anyone. Schumann looking for a slide and mosh opportunity. EQB is very low, so Gillyshark might not be able to threaten the objective cap that they might like. Logic gets a stall on Schumann here. Stark and EQB cleaning up this camp. A polymorph onto the Leoric. And there's the cocoon onto Schumann. So heroics thrown from Tsunami, but nobody caught with any trouble. Both teams doing a great job policing these turn-ins. And the experience continues to be neck and neck. Gillyshark a tad bit ahead, about a half level before their level 13 talent tier unlocks. PP Wolo probably going to get all 13 in. Schumann was spotted, but the interrupt does not come in time. Gillyshark will unlock the second objective phase right as the level 13 talent tier. Oh, Time Trap catches 2. Chymo has to pull the Flailing Swipes, but they're very slow in the slowing sands from Chromie. Chymo makes it out, sub 100 HP, and they turn around with a Mosh. Iron and Stark both in range to follow up. 2 kills onto Waffle Copter and PP Wolo. Logic might make it out here. The tick from Echo Pedal with Schumann narrowing the distance there will seal the fate. 3-4-0 in that engagement. What looked like a dead Stukov turned out to be a huge counterswing from Schumann. An excellent mosh pit, catching all 4 of Magnitude Tsunami there. They're likely to get the entire outer structure layer of Magnitude Tsunami here. Gillyshark pushing with 3 here in the top lane. Both mid and bottom forts going down as well. They're going to almost get this first tower on the top keep. Mid keep receiving about the same level of damage. Bottom keep relatively well defended. Poor Nubarak eating that last tick of the Echo Pedal. Most people think of it as just a PvE talent, but Schumann showing that those ticks of damage can be enough to secure a hero kill as well. And Gillyshark looking for a back-to-back turn in here. Schumann gets the slide onto Logic. They're able to catch EQB, and there's the cocoon. Entomb catches 2. Kerrigan combo doing a lot here. Logic taking so much damage. I don't know that they're going to make it out alive. Anubarak goes down. Schumann gets another mosh onto 2. Time stop will stall them dying. But in the end, it's going to be another 3-0 trade for Gillyshark. They're going to get back-to-back turn-ins, and it looks like they're going to proc boss as well. So it's going to be a turn-in and a boss going through top lane with a talent tier advantage, level 16s in their hand. This very well could be a decisive 3-0 on the side of Gillyshark. Of course, Magnitude Tsunami will be up. All the respawns will be here. So as long as they play it safe, they should be able to save their core. They most certainly are losing this top keep, but with a Kerrigan comp, it can be challenging to siege with one fewer ranged damage dealer. Front wall already going down. Both boss and the Webweaver still very healthy. Schumann fishing for a little bit of CDR on that mosh pit, and EKB does not catch Wafflecopter with the Entomb. A level away from the next talent tier for Magnitude Tsunami. Looks like Gillyshark are not going to press their luck here and look for any core damage with this boss. Focusing instead on getting these 2 catapults pushed up in mid lane. Checking in on the bot side. Valkyrie has done a good job getting those exterior lanes cleaned up. And Magnitude Tsunami weather the storm. Top keep does fall for that 3rd objective phase from Gillyshark. Oh, Valkyrie caught by the solo mosh. No phase shift from PP Wolo, and that is a lot of gems to lose. Logic is able to pick most of them up. Chromie, the target now, 34 gems lie on the ground. 2 additional kills right as their level 16s came in too. Magnitude Tsunami are going to lose bot keep and may very well lose the game off of that excellent engagement from Schumann, as well as the Entomb follow-up. A little bit of anti-synergy pulling Logic out of the Silence Puddle, and Kaimo has drawn the core aggro. Healer down below 50%. Core shielding has fallen. Wafflecopter and PP Wolo trying to apply as much damage as possible while Logic works on the Kerrigan. Stark will fall. Magnitude Tsunami could make the defense here. 3 dead. Schumann and Iron, the last 2 alive. And it looks like with just below 10% core HP, Magnitude Tsunami will hold the line. An absolute massive defense from our blue team. And they're going to head straight for the mid fort and try and get some catapult pressure evened out. They've, of course, got a turn-in available to them if they want to unlock another Webweaver phase, instead opting for a keep rush here in mid lane. Checking in on the top side, it's 3 catapults, and they are connected with the core. Valkyrie is going to be here in time to boop them off, while Magnitude Tsunami get onto the... Oh my god, Leo Wraith walked in. EKB clinches it. A clean 3-0 in favor of Gillyshark at Bingo Night. GG and well played. Holy cow. Yeah, Magnitude Tsunami were looking for those respawns, and they got Hogger back in time. Valkyrie was able to Hearth to take care of those catapults, but they were not tracking all of the avenues that Gillyshark had opened up for themselves towards victory. So EKB able to sneak in there with the Wraithwalk and seal it out with the Leoric. Let's take a look at our post-game stats here. Iron, top of the charts for Gillysharks with Delta Sniper. top of the lobby overall in terms of heroic damage. Valkyrie having to do a whole lot of catch-up XP collection, so outpacing EQB on the experience collection front. Can pull up our builds here as I try and wrangle a interview with our winners. And an excellent showing from our Gillyshark squad. They have been playing together for a long time, so it's not surprising to see them look so clean and tight in these engagements. Able to take it 3-0. Speaking of, let's update. So there we have it, all three. We'll see if anyone from Gillyshark is able to join us for this interview. So, an absolute dominant showing. Magnitude Tsunami, in spite of having a strong regular season, ended up not being able to take out the 7th seed Gillysharks. It was a true mystery matchup. They had not had the chance to meet in the regular season, so it was a real wild card. No one had the preparation available to them, and it looks like in that chaos, Gillyshark were able to take it. And it looks like we will be joined here shortly. So let me kick us over to the interview scene so everyone out there in TV land can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we absolutely can. Welcome, GG. How are you feeling?
Thanks.
A quick 3-0.
I did not expect a quick 3-0. I thought this would be up until 5 a.m. 3-2, one way or another. So it's only 21 minutes past 3.
That's not too bad at all.
Yeah.
So you folks were unable to meet up in the regular season due to, I assume, scheduling conflicts.
Yeah.
Did that put you guys in a kind of trepidatious place when going into this postseason match? Were you able to get good scouting data on your opponents, or was it just kind of a call it how we see it, take us wherever the bingo board will?
So I guess the website doesn't quite have the perfect info, but it was basically in group stages we could have taken the whole series as a forfeit win. And I think that's what it ended up being reported as, maybe. But we did decide to break the rules and took one map instead of the whole series and said, listen, we'll take one map and then we'll play. Because we had another series right after, so we didn't want to, we didn't want to hold up the second team that we were playing that day, but we also didn't want to just say, let's just take the forfeit series because we're here to play Heroes of the Storm, not get a point on a tally.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, of course.
So we won our group stage best of 3 1-0.
Gotcha.
And it was a Garden of Terror, take the camps kind of game. Yes, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So our scouting was basically looking at the stats that are public and going to our friend team Boogans Forever in Nexus Division and said, hey, can you pretend to be these guys? Can you pretend to be Magnitude? And they were like, yeah, sure, here you go.
Excellent.
So that was what we did for the past week or so.
Awesome. I would hope that the rest of chat is excited to hear it. I know I'm dying to know. Did you guys manage a bingo?
No.
Ugh.
I'll be honest.
Shame.
Yeah, it is shameful. We were a few weeks into the season, and we were like, you know what? This isn't working. This is just the competition is too good for us to arguably shoot ourselves in the foot in the name of fun. So we stop.
All
That
right.
being said, I don't think we play normal stuff anyway. So we get to choose the weird stuff we pick instead of not choosing the weird stuff we pick.
Absolutely, and I have to agree. I did a little bit of scouting before this match just to see how you two might approach a draft, and I was not. I assumed that y'all had played 43 heroes this season as a result of the bingo card, but
No,
as it turns out,
that's just what we want to play.
that's just what you wanted to play. Yeah, and lots
Yeah.
of role swapping too, which speaks to a great deal of flexibility that I'm very impressed with. Is that informed by whoever's got the most experience on the hero? How do you guys handle the different sort of comms requirements that comes with role swapping?
That's just been a lot of practice and, frankly, a lot of growth pains. But I think we're getting there. At the start of the season, we were in a really rough patch with all of that stuff, and I think now I would say we're all happy in what we're doing, and we are working together well, and talking well, and planning well, and I think things are overall good. But
Excellent.
yeah, it's just been a lot of practice to figure out, like, between me and Schumann, which tanks are we playing, how are we playing the games, between our, 4 off-laners, who's the best on the role, and how are they going to play it? How many off-laners are we going to play? Are we going to play 1? Are we going to play 2? Are we going to play 5? If Kaimo's here, he's designated healer. If Kaimo and Iron are playing, then which one of them's not healing, or are we double healing? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's all sorts.
it has been a real exciting opportunity to see you guys pulling out all those role swaps and creative compositions. Your next match is up against the #1 seed, Easy Blue, and the Soakers. How did you guys fare in the regular season against them?
That's a good question. I have stats somewhere. I'll go have a look. We
Yeah.
probably lost. Easy Blue, we lost. Wow, that's the shocker. Yeah, 2-0. Well, 2.
Okay. Are you guys excited for the rematch? Are you worried? Do you think it's going to be... Well, first, do you think... Was that a bingo game or was that a non-bingo game?
That might have been back in bingo era.
Okay.
I'm not sure, though.
Okay, so there could be secret sauce available to you, which is not playing
Maybe.
bingo.
Maybe.
Have you been able to do any scouting of the team? I know that they've been tearing it up in the regular season. I assume they've been performing quite well in the postseason as well. Oh, it looks like they went to a full 5 games in their semi-final.
Oof. Well, just got a 3-0 next time. I don't know.
Yeah?
Just
Well,
3-0 us in the finals. So.
amazing.
I've done no research whatsoever on them, and I don't think anyone else on the team has either. So
You've got plenty
I
of
think
time.
exactly, and our goal was let's get to playoffs and see if we get there, and then we scraped in 7th or something, and we're like, oh, okay, we made it. Woo! Let's focus on the next series and the next series and the next one. So
And it's been working. Yeah, you guys are on
by
an
step.
absolute tear in the postseason.
Yeah.
Stark, I'm not going to keep you any longer. Before I let you go and celebrate with the team,
All
are
right.
there any shout-outs you want to give?
Yeah, so shout out to Gillyweed for being the inspiration for the team. She's great. She's in an airport somewhere. Shout out to Chessluda and Kaimo Tripson for playing on their vacation that they are having together right now. They went to Wisconsin to buy cheese for a week.
Nice.
So they're now packing up cheese in suitcases. And here we are in a winner's interview instead while they do that. Shout out to the rest of the team for a clean 3-0. It's really nice to see. Shout out to Boogums Forever for being the best practice partners ever. Hopefully we get to play bingo with you guys post-season. That will be fine. Yeah, and shout out to you for casting.
Thank you very much. GG, and good luck in your next series.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
See you.
So there you have it. A clean 3-0 from Gillysharks. Let's see. I'm interested to take a look at the bracket with that update. All right, postseason bracket. Here we go. Let's take a look. Yeah, so Gillyshark have managed to 2-0 and 3-0 on the way to the finals here. Squeaking in at 7th seed, but absolutely turning on in the postseason. It's when the games matter the most. The single elimination format of the postseason makes for a very exciting set of games, and I'm sure Easy Blues and the Soakers are excited for their opponents now that they have them in their sights. Anything else we can say about these three games? Not too much, honestly. Volskaya, very clean. Schumann putting on an absolute masterclass on ETC. Able to get some huge mosh pits and great over-the-wall play with the Crowd Surfer level 4 on ETC. And some strong drafting as well. On both sides, they were able to kind of get their power picks in various games, and Magnitude Tsunami looked absolutely in driver's seat early on Tomb there. The Anubarak Greymane Chromie combination suiting them very well, but in the end, Gillyshark were able to close it out clean 3-0. That's going to do it for this semifinal series for Division A. Thanks again to everyone for tuning in. Before I sign off, I'll give a few shout-outs of my own. First, I have to thank all of the artists, musicians, and programmers whose work I feature on my broadcasts. They wouldn't look or sound anywhere near as good without all of those contributions. Feel free to stick around after I sign off to watch a credit scroll to see all of their work. You can also find links to their stuff over on my channel, which you can find with the !casters command. Also, once again, another shout out to all of the NGS staff who make this league possible, all of the div mods and the casting leadership, board members, everyone high and low. We appreciate all of the work that goes into it. It's a lot of fun to continue playing in organized fashion. So big thanks to all them. And of course, thank you to all of you for tuning in and cheering everybody on. It wouldn't be a broadcast without an audience, so you make all the difference. If you want to see me next, it'll probably be on one of the main NGS channels, but on the off chance I'm on my own channel, it's twitch.tv/thesound51. I'm pretty sure my YouTube is the same thing. So go feel free to drop a follow or subscribe on those channels if you are curious and interested in following any more of my trips across the Nexus. I'll be looking for you there. Until next time, good luck and have fun. Peace and love.